Hey everyone, I'm Liz Ferry and welcome to another episode of my Crochet Lessons series. In this episode, we'll be going over the process of changing colors in your crochet work. You can use color changes for a ton of different types of projects. When making dolls, you can use different colors to make the doll's clothing. You could make basic stripes for hats or socks, or you could try making a pixel art square. In this video, in honor of Pride Month, I'll be making a classic rainbow flag with my color changes. For this project, you'll need to know how to make the chain stitch and the single crochet stitch. You can find all of these crochet lessons in the playlist at the end of this video or in the description below. If you want to see my full video on what you'll need to begin crocheting, check out my crochet materials list video. For the process of changing colors, you'll need a crochet hook, I'm using a size H, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, stitch markers, and you'll need all the colors of yarn you'll be using for your work. Since I'm making a rainbow flag, I'll need red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. Before making the flag though, I'll show you the basics of color changing. First, I'll show you how to work color changes in the foundation chain, so that the chain will match any color changes you make in the next row. I'm going to make my chain 18 stitches wide, and I'll use 3 different colors evenly spaced out throughout the chain. So that means that I'll need to make 6 chains of each color in the foundation chain. So I'll start with a slip knot, so chain 5 using my first color. Then to change colors using a chain stitch, I'll pull a loop of the next color through the loop on my hook, making sure to leave a long tail to sew in later. And now here's the 6th loop of the first color. And now the loop on my hook is the new color. I'll repeat the process using this new color, so chain 5, then change colors by pulling a loop of the next color through the loop on my hook, again making sure to leave a long tail to sew in later. Then I'll chain 6 to finish that foundation chain with the last color. In the next row, I'll show you how to change colors using single crochets to match the color changes that we made in the foundation chain. So chain 1 more to count as the first stitch, and mark that stitch as the first stitch of the row. Then single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook to begin the row. Again, I'll change colors every 6th stitch to match the foundation chain. So I've done the first 2 stitches of the row. Now I'll single crochet normally into the next 3 stitches so that I can change colors on the 6th stitch. Alright, I've done the first 5 stitches of the row. In the next stitch, I'll change colors to my purple yarn. So first, I'll pull up a loop in the next chain, as though making another single crochet in that stitch. And then, instead of finishing the stitch with a loop of my pink yarn, I'm going to take the end of my purple yarn and yarn that over my hook instead. And then pull a loop of my purple yarn through the 2 pink loops on my hook, to close and finish that stitch with a loop of the new color. And now, as you can see, the loop left on my hook is the purple yarn, and I can continue to make stitches using my purple yarn. So I'll single crochet normally into the next 5 stitches using my purple yarn. Then I'll change colors again in the next stitch. So I'll pull up a loop into the next chain, as though making another single crochet. So now I'll take my blue yarn, and I'll pull a loop of my blue yarn through the 2 purple loops on my hook to finish that stitch with a loop of the new color. Then I'll single crochet using my blue yarn into the remaining chains of the foundation chain. Alright, I've reached the end of the row. Now I'll chain 1 to count as the first stitch of the next row. Mark that stitch as the first stitch. And single crochet into the 3rd stitch from the hook. And I'm going to repeat the same thing in the opposite order to create another row of my stripes. I've done the first 2 stitches of the row. Now I'll single crochet normally into the next 3 stitches, so that I can change colors to the purple yarn on the 6th stitch. So I'll pull up a loop into the next chain, as though making another single crochet. Then pull up a loop of my purple yarn through the 2 blue loops on my hook, to finish that stitch with a loop of the new color. Then single crochet normally into the next 5 stitches using my purple yarn. Then I'll change colors again in the next stitch. So I'll pull up a loop into the next chain, as though making another single crochet. So take the pink yarn, and pull up a loop of pink through the 2 purple loops on my hook, to finish that stitch with a loop of the new color. Then I'll single crochet using my pink yarn into the remaining stitches of the row. And I'll continue to repeat that pattern until the stripes are the length that I want. You can go on for as many or as few rows as you like. To end the work, I'm just going to chain 1, cut off the ends of the yarn, making sure to leave a long tail to sew in, pull the cut off end through the loop, and next I'll sew in all the ends of yarn. Now for the rainbow flag. I'm making this one with horizontal stripes instead of vertical stripes because it's just easier, especially with as many colors as I'm using. I'll start with a chain of 24 this time instead of 18, using my red yarn. Then I'll chain 1 for the first stitch, mark that stitch, and single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. Then single crochet into the remaining chains of the foundation chain using red. At the end of the row, I'll chain 1 to begin the next row, Mark that chain as the first stitch, and then single crochet into the third stitch from the hook, and into each remaining stitch of the row. Then I'll repeat that one more time and create one more row of red. Chain 1 for the first stitch, single crochet into each stitch, except for the very last stitch in this row this time, because that's where I'm going to change colors to my orange yarn. Alright, I've gotten to the end of 3 rows of red stitches, and I'm on the last stitch of the third row. Now, to change colors, I'm going to pull up a loop of red into that last stitch, as though I was making a normal single crochet. Then, the same way I changed colors before, I'll pull up a loop of my orange yarn through the 2 red loops on my hook to finish that stitch with a loop of the new color. Then I'll chain 1 to count as the first stitch of the next row, mark that stitch, and single crochet into each stitch using my orange yarn. Then I'll just repeat the process with the next color. So I'll finish with 3 rows total of my orange yarn, except for the very last stitch of the third row of orange stitches. And then pull up a loop of my yellow yarn through the 2 orange loops on my hook, to finish that stitch with a loop of the new color. And repeat the process again, this time with the yellow yarn. And then change colors to the green yarn in the very last stitch of the third row of yellow stitches. Then repeat with the green yarn and change colors to the blue yarn. And repeat with the blue yarn, and change colors to the purple yarn. Then create 3 more rows of purple, and then finish the work with a chain stitch. Cut off your yarn, and sew in all those ends. Now my rainbow striped flag is complete. You can mix these 2 techniques, or use individual color changes in the row to create a more unique pattern. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a like and share it on social media. And if you'd really like to help out the channel, you can donate to my Patreon. You can get some pretty cool perks through Patreon, like seeing my videos early, access to some of my prototype patterns, and discounts in my Ravelry store, depending on your level of donation. You can find out more about that at patreon.com/fairyrings. You could also subscribe and click the bell icon so that you don't miss the next episode of this series when it comes out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!